Welcome, Citizen Graham. Outdated U-chip firmware detected. Firmware must be updated to use Union City facilities.
I was about to return to give Ember a piece of my mind when...
Transporting you to the nearest safety services.
The stalkers had come into the city. But looking around, that didn't make any sense. This place was a paradise compared to the Union City I'd left all those years ago. Joey had certainly turned the place around. I had to find the stalkers. And whoever he was, Graham was my only lead. I just had to sort out my U-chip problems first. Hello?
Good morning, Graham, Grundy. I trust you are well on this fine day.
Actually,
Aha! Have you tried Dijon buttercream spankles? It's new.
sounds delightful.
That's the spirit. Now, Mr. Grundy, we both know why you're here, don't we?
I guess we do.
Your firmware. It's ridiculously out of date. Let's get you sorted then, shall we? Go on, place your hand on the platform.
Okay, here goes.
Well, that's very strange. More data.
What's very strange?
What's very strange?
You said that's very strange a moment ago. Something about my data.
I didn't. You said, what's very strange?
I only said it because you said that's very strange.
Great. What else can I do for you, Citizen Graham?
There was something strange about the ID that I had acquired. While she may have lost the plot, I definitely hadn't. So is my firmware all up to date?
It sure is, Citizen Graham. Now you can get back to being a top-notch citizen again. I see you have 2 weeks of public voting to catch up on. Better find a terminal and hop to it.
What was the firmware update for?
Well, Mr. Grundy, your U-chip appears to be quite an outdated model. It still had the original firmware from the early iterations of the Council's U-chip program. Frankly, I'm surprised you got by for so long.
I've lived a simple life.
You poor thing.
Can you tell me everything you know about Joey?
Joey was pivotal in the restructuring of Union City, and we will always remember him fondly. If you would like to learn more about Joey's role in the rebirth of Union City, why don't you visit the Museum of New History? Is there anything else I can help you with?
So Joey isn't around anymore?
When the city was ready to be ruled democratically, Joey stepped aside to make way for the Council. If you would like to learn more about Joey's role in the rebirth of Union City, why don't you visit the Museum of New History? Is there anything else I can help you with?
Where can I find one of these terminals?
They're everywhere. You can't throw a bilby without hitting a terminal.
Why would I want to throw a bilby?
I know, they're so cute.
Tell me about Union City.
The temperature is a perfect 296 degrees.
296 degrees? In what units?
Kelvin, obviously. What else would it be?
What's happening in the city these days?
Have you tried Dijon buttercream spankles? It's new.
I have not. Is it tasty?
38% of citizens say yes.
38% is not a great endorsement.
Get it before it's gone.
Can you tell me about this council?
The council was formed as a democratic oversight committee to ensure the happiness and prosperity of Union City. The council is made up of 5 ministries. Ministry of Plenty, Ministry of Comfort, Ministry of Safety, Ministry of Aspiration, Ministry of Well-being. Would you like to know more?
That's enough for now.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
How can I speak to the council?
Communication with the council is performed through your daily polls.
Right. Anything a little more direct?
Well, I'm sure if you saw one of them wandering about, they'd be more than happy to chat.
That's more like it. Where would I find them?
The council resides within the Citadel. Unfortunately, your kudos level does not permit you access. I'm sure you understand.
Would you mind scanning my U-chip like you did before?
But, Graham, your firmware is up to date.
Humor me.
Okay. Well, that's very strange. More data!
There, you just did it again.
Because you asked me to humor you.
I mean, you said that's very strange again.
I assure you that I have a precise log of this entire conversation, and I said no such thing.
It appeared that every time she tried to access my data, the last few seconds of her memory was wiped.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Thank you.
Was I helpful?
Yes.
Would you like to fill out a survey?
Yeah. Why not?
Excellent. Question 1 of 100. Are you satisfied?
Whoops. Gotta go. Now that I'd dealt with my U-chip problem, I needed to find out more about my new identity. Graham Grundy. I'd never tell him, but Joey's statue looked magnificent.
Hooray! Another customer! Please scan your U-chip to place an order. One fresh premium spankles.
I was enjoying my time in the piazza, but I doubted I'd learn much about Graham here. I couldn't access Graham's messages. I added that to my list of things to look into.
Union City wishes all citizens a happy Aspiration Day. Union City wishes all citizens a happy
The
Aspiration.
robot was spitting out the occasional motivational message.
Union City wishes.
As pleasant as this place was, I doubted it was going to help me find Milo.
Pod has been requested. Please wait for embarkation. Welcome, Citizen Graham. Where would you like to go?
I knew Graham had some sort of connection to Milo's kidnapping. His home would be my best, in fact, my only lead. Take me to Graham... my home.
Lakeview Apartments. Certainly, Citizen Graham.
The city knew a lot more about Graham than I did. As I arrived, masquerading as a dead man called Graham, I was apprehensive about what I would find. But I had no choice. I had to find the stalker. And whoever he was, Graham was my only lead. The seal on the floor showed my buddy Joey just as I remembered him, when I left him in charge all those years ago.
Hey, buddy, watch where you're standing.
What's your problem?
Your face, for one.
Excuse me.
Well, if you hadn't been staring at the floor like a moron, you'd have seen me.
I didn't catch your name.
I'm your mama.
What? Do you live here?
Do I look like I live here?
I'm not from around here. Maybe everyone here looks like you.
Yeah, and what do I look like?
Trouble.
Keep walking.
Do you know where I can find Joey?
Oh, I don't know. Weirdo. They say he walked into the gap, or sailed across the sea. Either way, he abandoned us all in this place.
You don't like it here?
Needs more color, wouldn't you agree?
What happened after Joey left?
Well, duh. Council runs the city now.
Do you know a guy called Graham Grundy?
Nope. Sounds like a moron.
In that case, let me introduce myself. Graham Grundy.
Doesn't surprise me.
I'll leave you to... whatever it was you were doing.
Aw, really? I'll miss you.
Yes, I'm... very busy.
Hey, dirtbag! What's your favorite color?
Huh?
You heard me. What's your favorite color?
Blue?
Lame.
But you're wearing... Never mind.
Later, man purse.
Later, backpack.
Ha! You got nothing.
Clearly not everyone in Union City was quite as courteous as they were happy. Calling the already present elevator did nothing. No surprise there.
Apologies, Citizen Graham. This is not your residence.
Wait, I know that U-chip. Oh my, is it really? Yes, it is. Master Graham, you have returned. How wonderful.
Oh, good day, huh?
I shall inform Madam and her guest that you have arrived. She will be so pleased.
No, that won't be necessary.
She will be overjoyed that you have finally returned to the bosom of the family. My apologies for the interruption, Madam Songbird. It's Master Graham.
What about him, Chipworth?
It appears he has arrived home, Madam.
Ah, I was hoping to meet you, Mr. Grundy. Mentor Alonso, Ministry of Well-Being. I was just here to investigate some irregularities.
I'm sure my Graham needs a few moments to freshen up. Why don't I show you my kudos records? I don't know who you are, but right now we're both in a lot of trouble. So for both our sakes, you'd better convince the mentor that you're Graham.
Yes, of course.
I'll stall him. Just don't come through that door until you know enough about Graham to pass yourself off as him.
Don't worry. You can count on me. I wasn't sure what I'd walked into. But if I was to convince anyone I was Graham, I needed to find out more about him. His job, his family, his state of mind. The mentor could ask me about anything. Information about Graham was scattered all over the place. All I had to do was look around. At least one person in the city appreciated a nice cup of coffee, although I doubted Union City Blend contained even an ounce of actual coffee beans. Something told me the fire was not authentic.
Excuse me, please?
Personally, I preferred an open fire for cooking. After 10 years in the Gap, I'd almost forgotten what a toilet looked like. There was a boot print. Curious. So Graham was a cleaning supervisor? The logo on the uniform was quite distinct. I needed to find out who he worked for. If I slipped up, I'd be exposed right away.
Welcome back, Graham. Displaying your health chart now. It has been 2 weeks since your last checkup. You have lost weight. Congratulations. It has been noted that your height has increased. Adjusting records accordingly. Scanning for medical implants. Error. Implant missing. Refreshing biomodification database. Please wait. Removing cardiac implant registration. Registering Schriebman port as new implant.
The scanner had detected my Schriebman port, which allowed me to interact with Link, the city's old network. Since then, I'd pretty much forgotten about it.
Adjusting your health rating from C to A+.
I was considerably fitter than Graham. That was good to know. What devices do I have installed?
You possess a U-chip personal data implant in the perlicue of your right hand. It is functioning correctly. Your cardiac regulator implants have been marked as removed. Please return them to your nearest medical waste facility. You possess a Schriebman local interneural connection port in the third cervical vertebrae. This hardware predates the Minos system and cannot be accessed at this terminal.
That's probably for the best.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
Do you have any advice for me?
A single can of Spankles contains more than your daily dietary requirements. Look for the clown. Drink Spankles. Keep a smile on your face.
Thanks.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
Do you have any further advice for me?
Are you aware that falls while walking are one of the biggest causes of injuries in Union City? Remember, no matter how short the journey, a monopod is always safer and more convenient.
Thanks.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
Do you have any further advice for me?
Calocephala fimbriata are dangerous carriers of disease. Never approach, and if you touch one, report for immediate disinfecting. Do not feed the birds.
Thanks.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
Do you have any further advice for me?
Food from outside the city has been found to contain high values of salt, sugar, and meat. If you eat Gap food, you are putting yourself in danger.
Thanks.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
Do you have any further advice for me?
Studies indicate that happier people receive better assessments from their peers. Remember, whatever happens on the inside, keep a smile on the outside.
Thanks.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
Give me a checkup.
Scanning. Your physical health is within the top percentile for a Union citizen. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You are welcome, Citizen Graham.
That's all for now.
Due to the alteration of your physical parameters, a new uniform has been ordered and will arrive at your home shortly. Keep a smile on your face.
I was a lot healthier than Graham. In fact, I'd say Graham was downright unhealthy. I had made some headway, but I still needed to know about Graham's work and social standing. Tempting, but I'd already had my monthly bath. A shelf full of sports gear and awards from years gone by. Amethyst or purple glass? Either way, it looked expensive. That looked like Graham and his wife on their wedding day. They looked blissfully in love. That... Rhythmic gymnastics, first place.
Excuse me, please.
Hello there. Chipworth, wasn't it?
Master Graham. May I say, sir is looking even more fabulous than usual today.
Why, thank you.
Has Master Graham lost weight?
Maybe. Does Master Graham look like he's lost weight?
Oh, yes, sir. And it would appear sir has gained some height as well. Bravo.
Tell me, Chipworth, who was that woman just now?
But that was sir's wife, Madame Songbird.
Yes, of course. My wife.
Is sir quite feeling himself?
It's fine. I've just been having a difficult few days.
How serendipitous that the well-being mentor is here then, is it not, sir?
I need you to do something for me.
Just say the word, sir.
Please, can you open the windows, Chipworth?
I am sorry, sir, but the window controls are in Madame Songbird's room. I would not wish to disturb the mentor while he is with her. Her meeting is apparently of the highest priority.
I see. We shouldn't disturb her then.
Indeed, sir. However, if the air temperature is a concern, might Sir consider dispensing with his coat?
It is rather warm.
And pungent, sir.
Chipworth, tell me everything you know about me.
Request respectfully declined, sir.
But aren't you my butler droid?
Yes, sir. I have been Sir's butler for a very long time.
Then why can't you tell me?
Standing orders, sir.
Whose orders?
You... nice try, sir. Almost had me.
Graham had made sure his droid wouldn't talk. I had to do my own investigating. Tell me about that woman.
Woman? Can Sir possibly be referring to his good lady wife?
Humor me. For instance, her name would be...
Madame Songbird. Clearly, Sir is not feeling quite himself today. Sir might recall he even forgot dear old Chipworth's name earlier.
Who?
Me, sir.
Who was that guy in here when I arrived?
Is Sir referring to the gentleman currently probing your wife in the bedroom?
I guess I am.
That would be the Honorable Mentor Alonso, Senior Officer at the Ministry of Well-Being. I believe that he would like to see you next.
He would?
Mentor Alonso indicated that there were one or two anomalies in Master Graham's records. Public voting, kudos levels, employment, whereabouts within the city.
Just some minor things, then.
Consumption patterns, biosigns, indication of physical existence.
I think I get the picture.
But I'm sure there's a simple answer, Master Graham.
This mentor, what will he ask me about?
The Ministry of Well-Being is always concerned, sir, with a citizen's well-being.
Well-being?
That's right, sir. A citizen's health and happiness, their relationships and social life, all of the utmost importance to the Ministry. He might also inquire if Sir needs any support in the workplace or similar.
Why exactly was I selected?
I believe Sir's 2-week-long work, poll, and social hiatus may have raised some concerns. Just be yourself, sir, and you will be fine.
Of course, because I am Graham Grundy. Is this interview just going to be about me?
Correct. The mentor is here to assess Sir's well-being.
And what happens if Sir answers the questions incorrectly?
Incorrectly, sir? Get them wrong? How could Sir possibly do that?
Perhaps I hit my head on something.
Ha! Very droll, sir, very droll. Might I suggest that Sir just be himself and it will all be fine?
I didn't have long. I needed to learn about Graham Grundy, and fast. So, what do you do, Chipworth?
Whatever Sir desires.
Can you juggle?
Sadly, sir, one's capabilities are restricted to the minutiae of domestic service.
Shame.
We are what we are, sir.
At least as far as anyone else needs to know. So, what's the interview about again?
Mentor Alonso will assess Sir's health, happiness, and suitability for work.
I didn't have long. I needed to learn about Graham Grundy, and fast. Tell me about the mentor.
As a high-ranking official of the Ministry of Well-Being, he is here, I am sure, to evaluate the well-being of this household.
Well-being?
Health, social participation, work fulfillment, the usual, sir.
Ah, how are you, Chipworth?
I am well, sir. Thank you for inquiring.
I need you to do something for me.
Just say the word, sir.
Please, can you tidy up the apartment, Chipworth?
Very good, sir.
Union City Red. I suspected it was more fruit juice than wine. Definitely an improvement on the food dispensers they used to have here. The trees in the gap weren't as pretty, but at least they were real. I knew about Graham's health, but I still needed to find out about his work and social standing. Perhaps I'd find more on his personal terminal. I needed to find out more information if I wanted to avoid getting caught out.
Excuse me, please?
I was hit by the acrid smell of chemicals. A sword? The blade was cracked. An impressive collection of medals, ranging from bravery to long service. Most of the medals dated back to before I was born. It looked like one of the land trains from the city walls. It was a detailed model. Developing fluid and trays. I hadn't seen gear like this since I was a child. It looked like one of the... A uniform like the one Graham's wife wore. It was cut for someone much larger. I needed to find out who he worked for. If I slipped up, I'd be exposed right away. Looked like these photos were taken by the city walls. Espionage during the Hobart Wars. Nice to see the propaganda was still around. How to survive a war. Better just to not be around to see them. A printer? It was rare to see one of those. I wondered if Graham self-medicated. The droids who stare at goats. A classic. Developing fluid and trays. I hadn't seen gear like this since I was a child. The council was made up of five ministries. Each ministry had their own logo and distinctive color scheme. From the color of his uniform, it was clear that Graham worked for the Ministry of Comfort. I knew quite a bit about Graham's work and health, but I figured I could learn more if I found his kudos records. A chart showing that Graham's kudos score had recently dropped. I wondered what had caused such a sharp decline. I had learned all I was going to from Graham's apartment. I hoped it would be enough.
Excuse me, please.
If I was going to convince the mentor, I had to be sure I knew enough about Graham. I couldn't keep them waiting any longer. From that point on, I had to be Graham Grundy, cleaning supervisor.
Darling, I thought you were going to freshen up.
I was, but I missed the sweet sound of your voice.
Oh, Graham, always the romantic. But please don't kiss me until you've showered.
Wouldn't dream of it. Besides, I couldn't let Alfonso here
Alonso?
monopolize my lovely wife for a moment longer.
In which case, shall we begin?
Of course. Shall we take a seat in the lounge? It was now or never.
So, Mr. Grundy.
Mentor Alonso, what would you like to know?
Ah, well, straight to the point. I like that. As I was explaining to your dear wife earlier, there have been some issues with your activity records of late.
Issues? What do you mean?
Mr. Grundy, a word to the wise. This will be much smoother if you leave the questions to me. Now, whilst your records load, remind me, in which ministry are you employed?
Comfort. I'm a cleaning supervisor.
Yes, of course. Ah, here we go. Graham Grundy, 42, cleaning supervisor with the Ministry of Comfort. Cleaning supervisors require Class C exertive activity certification. I trust that your health rating is sufficient.
I did drop down a bit, but I'm back to Class A+ now.
Excellent, excellent. Very good. So, with that in mind, I will mark you as fit for work, barring any other issues. Now, obviously, your kudos level will have fluctuated due to your absence. You're a C+ right now. I note you used to be much higher.
B.
Yes, well, you'll be back up there in no time. Well, that is all I need to check off. But I'd be remiss if I didn't offer you all the extra support and guidance that you need.
Mentor?
When someone goes off-grid, there's usually some underlying trouble. And as a mentor, I like to think of myself as a bit of a troubleshooter.
Of course. I appreciate the concern.
So, let's get to the bottom of all this confusion. Dig a bit deeper, eh?
Deeper? Yes, right. By all means, Mentor.
Tell me about your workplace. I trust there are no issues.
The gymnasium is a great place to work.
What?
Oh, silly me. That's our pet name for the land train division. Such a physical place to work, you see. Private joke.
We are, of course, very grateful for your service, Mr. Grundy. But there we come to the crux of the matter. Your absence. 15 days is a long time. This is, of course, why my ministry has become involved in your case. We have been concerned for your well-being.
I'm fine. Better than ever, in fact.
Excellent. Now, speaking of your health, I note you had some surgery last year. Tell me about your implants. Are they working effectively?
You mean my Schriebmann port?
Your what?
He means your heart regulator, dear.
Oh yes, of course. Nothing to worry about. As you can see, the beat goes on.
Yes. Well, I must say you're in remarkable shape considering your medical history. Of course, your mental well-being is just as important to us. How are you getting on with your rather peculiar hobbies?
You mean my photography?
I do, yes.
You can't beat the feeling of an old-time film camera.
I can imagine. You have an eye for composition. Although I don't understand your interest in using such archaic technology. Choosing to fiddle with knobs rather than availing of ministry-recommended filters, stabilization, automatic archive, and data retrieval, all courtesy of Minos. If we can't see what you create, how can we share in your interests?
What can I say? I like a challenge.
I'm sure you do, Graham. Ah, well. I have a busy day of appointments, so sadly we must conclude our little chat there.
It's been a pleasure, Mentor.
Hasn't it? So with that in mind, perhaps you can tell me where you've been for the last 2 weeks.
What? Right. Yes, where have I been the last 2 weeks?
Well?
Okay, so the last 2 weeks, I was working at the land train facility, of course. Cleaning. I'm a cleaning supervisor. And while I was cleaning, I must have bumped my head. The next thing I knew, I was in the middle of nowhere, still on the train. 2 weeks later, the train returned to the city. Cleaner than it's ever been, I might add.
My poor darling! How awful! What a dreadful thing to happen!
I believe I have all the answers I need from you.
Well, that's a relief.
I'm sure it is, Mr. Grundy.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
Just a teeny tiny thing before I go. There appears to be 1 or 2 anomalous results here.
Anomalous? That doesn't sound good.
It may be nothing. But here's the thing. I get strange readings when I scan your U-chip. Any idea why?
Maybe it got damaged when I fell.
Possibly. It's as plausible as everything else you've told me today. You see, the only other time I've seen anything like this is when a U-chip has been tampered with. No one would have done that now, would they?
Tampered with? I didn't even know that you could do that.
Graham's a supervisor, not a subversive mentor.
Yes, a supervisor, not a subversive.
Damaged when he fell. Request analysis. Now, it's clear to me that your recent concussion has had some deleterious effects on your memory. You need some time to recuperate.
Of course, Mentor. I shall see to it that he gets the care he needs.
Oh, I have no doubt that you will. And to support you in this, I've converted some of your kudos to grant you both some time off work.
Our kudos? Wait, how much?
Oh, nothing too severe. Just enough to give you some time to reflect. You may notice a slight dip in your social tier, however.
But the Aspiration Day Gala... tonight.
Yes, won't it be something? I am so looking forward to it. Anyway, keep a smile on your face.
You too.
Good day, Mr. and Mrs. Grundy.
What in the name of Joey do you call that sorry performance?
Maybe I could have tried harder.
Look, Buster. Everything was fine until you turned up. I'd dragged my kudos all the way up to Class B for that gala. I don't want time off. I want my gala tickets.
If there is anything wrong with Graham's U-chip, you would better sort it out sharpish, before Alonso's analysis comes back.
Who even are you? Where's Graham? Are you that contact he kept ranting about?
Whatever Graham had been up to, it had gotten him killed. I had to come clean with his wife. There's no easy way to say this, but I'm afraid Graham is dead.
What?
where?
I found him. In the gap.
The Gap? What was the idiot doing in the Gap? Was that where he was always sneaking off to? Ugh!
A child, Milo, was abducted from a village out there and brought into Union City. And I think Graham was somehow connected.
Sure, and pigs fly. Listen, stranger. I'm sure you can understand this has been a rather harrowing day. This is all too much for me right now.
Tell me about it.
So, I'm gonna do some damage control on social media. In the meantime, I guess that officially it is your home, so you can stay, but this is my bedroom, and that one is yours. No cute ideas.
Understood. Songbird seemed rattled by the news. Not surprising. But whoever this contact of Graham's was, I suspected they were the key to finding Milo.
Excuse me, please.
A collection of toy animals were lined up in little baskets. One was missing. Jasmine. Songbird, I'm sorry.
You're sorry. Oh, terrific. As long as you're sorry. But tell me, what exactly are you sorry for? Turning up here? Pretending to be my husband? Or maybe you're sorry for making such a mess of it. All that kudos straight down the drain.
But...
Do you know how much effort I've put into getting that gala ticket? How many months of fake smiles and loathsome dinner parties? Only to have Mentor Alonso convert it all into time off to spend with you! So, please explain. What exactly are you sorry for?
That I pretended to be your husband.
I hope you realize what you've cost me. That gala was everything. Could you not have tried just a teeny bit harder to be Graham? The clues are all over the place.
Well, I tried.
I suppose you did at least get the bumbling idiot part right.
You don't seem too distraught about your husband.
Look, stranger. You told me your secret, so I'll tell you mine. Last few years, Graham gave up trying to be anything other than the dullard he really was. If it weren't for the kudos for being married, I'd have dumped him months ago. You're new here, so a word of advice? You want to win in Union City? Learn the rules and play the game.
My name's Foster, by the way. Robert Foster.
Songbird.
Is there anything more you can tell me about Graham?
Not much. He was a loner whose only friends were idiots like him.
Tell me more about Graham.
Why do you want to know?
I think he might have been involved in something.
What do you mean?
I came to Union City from the Gap because I was investigating a mysterious...
Oh, for Joey's sake, not you too. Blah blah conspiracy, blah blah giant dog. Graham was the perfect husband until he started getting crazy ideas. Why couldn't he just have an affair like a normal person?
Who's this contact you mentioned?
Bad news, as far as my kudos level is concerned.
What do you mean?
Graham was always rambling on about this hacker friend of his. Had a daft name. Leet, I think.
Any idea where I could find Leet?
Probably somewhere up top, with the other degenerates. If I were you, I'd stay away.
Are you a collector?
What?
Toys. You have quite the collection.
Oh, yes. The whole set of cuddly kitties. Even the limited edition Mama Bear from 5 years back. Well, I did have the whole set, at least.
Did something happen?
Bartleby went missing, that's what. I asked Graham about it and he denied all knowledge. Then, when I tried to use the Mama Bear tracker to find dear Bartleby, he threw her across the room.
Clumsy.
Clumsy? Those bears were my engagement gift. He hid Bartleby just to spite me.
Graham had taken Songbird's toy Bilby, but I couldn't figure out what he'd have wanted with it. Wherever he'd gone, Graham clearly didn't want to be tracked.
What's a mama bear tracker?
What do you think? It tracks her babies.
Her babies?
The cuddly kiddies. Most toys in Union City are tracker-enabled. Lost toys mean screaming babies, unless you got a tracker.
Mind if I have a look at the tracker?
Go ahead, though the screen is broken. Squeeze the left ear to turn it on.
Mind if I have a look at the tracker?
Go ahead, though the screen is broken. Squeeze the left ear to turn it on.
What does Bartley Bilby look like?
Bartleby is a Bilby. Adorable, long ears. Like a bandicoot and a rabbit all rolled into one. At least he was, before he went missing.
Graham was a conspiracy theorist?
Always was. But before he went missing, he really changed.
He became secretive. Used to close the terminal whenever I came into the room.
That's not that strange.
And he started spending a lot of time in the bathroom. And then he just disappeared.
Okay, that's the weird bit. What were you saying about kudos?
You mean all the kudos I've now lost, thanks to you?
Yeah, kudos. That's important, right?
Were you born yesterday?
Let's just say I'm new here.
Okay, newbie. Here's how it works in Union City. Be a good example, stay happy, and you get kudos.
Which you spend?
Well, kinda, but not really. The higher your kudos level, the lower you are in the city. Simple.
So kudos is bad?
Aren't you listening? Lower. Lower is better.
So you need a higher kudos to get lower?
Of course. That industrial pit up there hovers over me like a storm cloud. And this middle level is simply beneath me.
I think I understand what you mean.
But the lower level, now they are my kind of people. They've got standards that you don't see enough of round here.
How can I raise my kudos level?
With kudos, obviously.
So how do I get more kudos?
Well, isn't that just the question? Like I said, be happy, get points.
But how can you be happy when you've just found out your husband is dead?
You think I'm not sad on the inside? No one's gonna give me a medal for having a dead husband.
But...
Let's talk about something else, eh? My points have already dipped way too much today, thanks to you.
Mind if I have a look at the tracker?
Go ahead, though the screen is broken. Squeeze the left ear to turn it on.
Did Leet believe in Graham's conspiracies?
Believe? Pretty sure he's where Graham got him from. Bad influence all round.
Looks like Graham was quite the photographer.
Oh, he was dreadful. At first I thought he was an artist. Then I found out he used those ridiculous antique cameras. It took hours to see the finished photographs. And he took forever fussing with the lighting. The only good thing about his photographs is that I'm in most of them.
What do you know about the council?
They run the city. You know, like they always have since Joey left.
Can I speak to them?
Not with Graham's ID, you can't.
You work for the Ministry of Comfort?
Sure do. It might not sound prestigious, but without us, the city falls down.
You don't seem the type to settle for a cleaning job.
Cleaning supervisor, thank you very much. And you'll find in Union City, it's not what you do, it's how you do it that counts.
How so?
You know, get the job done, don't get in trouble, keep a smile on your face, the usual.
Thanks.
Yeah, bye.
It looked like Graham had taken Bartleby and didn't want it tracked. I had a hunch that he had taken it to Leet, but had no idea why. A Detective Culls. Someone liked their murder mysteries. The shelf was loaded with books on management, business theory, and military strategy. The device was now on, but with the screen broken, I'd need to find another way to get at the data. I wondered why Graham had taken a children's toy.
Hello there. I'm Mama Bear.
Hi.
Mama Bear looks after all the cuddly kitties. Are you looking for one of my children?
I'm looking for Bartleby Bilby.
Don't worry, child. Look at my tummy to find your missing friend.
I didn't think Songbird would appreciate me rummaging through her things. Tempting, but I'd already had my monthly bath. You can tell a lot about a man from his shoes. In this case, that the man had no taste. Excuse me.
Ah, Master Grundy. What joy to see Sir again after all this time. The Poet Laureate Reginald Arthur Schnipple Esquire sends his regards and/or condolences as appropriate.
How nice of you, Reginald.
Correction, sir. If one may be so bold, Mr. Schnipple is of course Sir's human neighbour. How Sir might mistake yours truly, Tarquin, for our beloved Poet Laureate is beyond imagining.
Who are you again?
Tarquin, Fidelis Mark II domestic savant, at your service.
So you're a servant?
Savant, please. I am a highly engineered personal aide.
Do you work in these apartments?
Of course, Master Grundy. Sir and I have been neighbors for 147 days and 11 hours.
I'm Graham Grundy.
Of course, sir.
So we've met before?
Of course, sir.
When's the last time you saw me?
Master Grundy, one is sure one doesn't need to remind Sir that one works with Sir's neighbor.
One would need one to remind one.
Ah, does Sir mean Sir would need one to remind Sir, or one would need Sir to remind one?
One is not sure anymore. You have a real way with words.
Aha, Sir is referring to one's grammatical prowess, no?
Yes.
Sir is too kind. And yet, if only one could translate grammatical prowess into poetic inspiration.
What do you think about the graffiti?
As an artiste, I find any medium a valid form of expression. Of course, the vandalism does somewhat detract from the piece.
So you like the graffiti?
I said it was a valid form of expression, albeit not on a par with, say, the literary arts. But as art goes, it's not too abhorrent.
Have you heard any reports of missing children?
Why, no, Master Graham. If anyone went missing, I'm sure AI Officer Greta would find their U-chips.
What if they were from outside the city?
Well, surely AI Officer Greta would find them by their newly implanted U-chips.
Fair enough. For all his poetry, Tarquin was still a Union City droid. See you later, Tarquin.
Will I?
Huh? It's just a phrase.
Shall we schedule in another meeting?
I don't think that's necessary.
Such ambiguity. A tortured soul. Alas, I am inspired.
Dear me, a terrible situation. Very troubling indeed.
Mentor, given your experience, your input here would be greatly appreciated.
Orana, isn't it? You strike me as a fine young officer of the Ministry of Well-Being. Would you say that's an accurate description?
I'm flattered, sir.
Your record is exemplary, I believe.
I do my best, sir.
I'm sure you do. So please, don't let me down. Fix this mess.
Mess? You mean the girl?
The whole untidy situation.
Yes, sir.
Atta girl! Keep a smile on your face. After all, it's Aspiration Day, isn't it? The happiest day of the year.
I'll take care of it, sir.
I know you will. By the way, a call to pest control wouldn't go amiss.
Of course, sir.
Meanwhile, I shall isolate this area until this unfortunate incident has been resolved.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your advice.
We're all here to learn from each other. Take care now.
Miss! Pardon me, miss!
Who, me? Hey! You can see forever up here! You know, be free!
Miss, you have to be careful.
Careful or careless? I know which one I want to be.
Why don't you come down, yes? Miss Dijon, is that right? Raquel Dijon.
Yeah! That's... me. I think...
Raquel!
Raquel? Did you say Raquel?
You need to come down.
What? Where am I? Oh no! Help! Help!
Hearing her name had triggered a total change in the girl's behavior. I needed to find a way to get her down before she fell. From that height, the girl wouldn't fare much better than the cat.
Excuse me,
Sir?
what's going on?
Just a citizen in trouble, all under control.
Anything I can do to help?
No need, sir. All under control.
Really? Why is the monopod locked down?
To keep people happy, sir.
How?
Well, this situation has the potential to be unpleasant. So we keep the situation contained until it can be resolved.
But I'd really like to go somewhere.
A little patience, sir, would be appreciated.
When will the monopod be unlocked?
When the situation is resolved.
Is there nothing I can do to help?
Just carry on enjoying Aspiration Day, sir.
But...
Best leave this to the professionals, sir.
Are you sure I can't help?
Totally sure. Just move along, please, sir.
Why is she up there?
I don't know. I'm not sure she does either.
What happened here?
I don't know, but we have to get her down.
When will the monopod be unlocked?
When the situation is resolved.
I'll let you get back to work.
Thanks.
This particular spot seemed popular with the local birds. I knew I shouldn't get distracted, but I couldn't help it. It was a hand scanner.